Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Taking Care of Tutu podcast. I'm your host, Meg Obanoff, and today we have two guests from Hale Kau Kau. So I'm going to let you both introduce yourselves and then tell us a little bit about what you folks are doing at Hale Kau Kau.
Okay, well, I'm Barry Rosenfeld, and I'm the president of the Hale Kau Kau Advisory Board. I'm going to actually tell you what we are all about, what we do, and then I'm going to turn it over to our magnificent chef, Matt Andrews, and he's going to tell you a lot of really great things. So we always feel that our service to others is the price we pay for our rent on earth. And so what Hale Kau Kau means is house of meals. And as the president of the advisory board, I want to bring everybody up to date in our community about where we are, where we have been, and where we plan to go. So
Let's start out with what is Hale Kau Kau and where is it?
Hale Kau Kau is a ministry, but it's a non-religious ministry at St. Theresa Church. We are our own 501c3.
And where is St. Teresa's Church located?
Okay. Kihei, Maui.
Okay.
So people are listening to this all over the world. Is that right?
It's primarily people in Maui, but we do have listeners like in Japan and the Philippines. So we have to be more specific than we're used to being.
I'm sorry about that. I'll try to be more specific.
That's okay.
So what we do is we serve meals to people every night, and we deliver meals to people every night who are in need. So in the month of June, we delivered over 3,000 meals to homebound members of the community on the island of Maui. And we served over 2,000 people on site at St. Theresa Church every night. That's awesome. That's what we do. We serve people with food insecurity. The people that we actually deliver food to, the 100+ people we deliver to, those are people who are elderly, they're disabled. I personally deliver every Saturday, and I had a new person on the delivery route who got one of Matt's and she told me, be sure you tell the chef how great the meals are. And she also said she broke both her hips. She was in an ohana. She was literally bedridden. I set the food on a table next to her, and she says, if you didn't deliver these meals to me every night, I just don't know what I'd do, Barry. And it just touches my heart to be part of such a wonderful organization.
So great. So it sounds like there's two parts of the program. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of parts, but the main two activities are serving meals at St. Teresa's Church in Kihei 7 nights a week. And then there's also a home delivery component for people who are not able to get there. Okay, great. So Matt, you're the chef. You're responsible for preparing all this delicious food.
Yes.
Awesome.
I've been the acting chef here, head chef for a little over a year now. I've been working as a chef here on a part-time basis for 2 years.
How did you get to this position in your life? It's an unusual job for a chef, right?
It is. So I have a career in the restaurant industry. I've worked as a chef in various different steak and seafood places, mostly on the East Coast. Years working for like Outback Steakhouse and then some steak and seafood restaurants in Philadelphia. So about, 2.5, a little over 2 years ago, I moved out to Maui. Didn't know anybody out here. The first thing that I did when I got out here was began volunteering at Hale Kau Kau. Just because I didn't really know anybody, I got a part-time cooking job in a local restaurant. And then I just did volunteer work here.
So this summer, I home delivered for the food bank, and I really appreciated when our route was really well thought out, because if you're doing 30 delivery boxes, it's really nice to not have to backtrack. So who is making the list for the volunteers of the deliveries?
Yeah, let me go ahead and chime in on that, Meg. We have a fantastic director. She's called program director is her official title. Her name is Sean Wallen. And her, along with our part-time office staff, Paige Fontaine, they're the two people that design the routes. I mean, Matt's the guy that prepares the food, but it does take a lot of work logistic wise for Sean and Paige to design the routes for those of us who deliver to those 6 routes. And so we have a different driver every night for those 6 routes. I'm a Saturday driver, and a lot of people, deliver, whatever day of the week is convenient for them. So that's a Paige and Sean deal, and they're both fantastic people that do a great job logistically.
Great. And then are the people are typically called when you're delivering the meal?
Yeah, let me talk from my own experience. We have a lot of specifications on the delivery. God bless these people. We have on my delivery route, I have one that says you need to knock on the door, get a reply, open the door, and set the meal on top of the stand that's right there by the door. Another one says this person has PTSD. He does not want to be disturbed. You are just to leave the meal inside the ice chest that's on his front door.
That's what it was like for us this summer too, except it was food boxes. So sometimes working families weren't home. We would have to take a photo of the food box and text it to the person to know it had arrived. So there was like the address and then some instructions on how to get to the address, and also like what you're talking about, the specialized instructions for that specific.
And I have one delivery on South Kihei Road in a condominium, and she asked that we text her, like you said, ahead of time. So
how many
is a
boxes?
little different.
And so how many like meals would a volunteer typically be delivering if they volunteer for an evening?
A typical volunteer, and Matt can verify this with me, each route has, depending on if we lose some or gain some, somewhere between 15 and 21 deliveries.
So Matt, going back to you, so you're prepped all of the home deliveries and those have been picked up by the drivers. And then I assume you have to start getting ready for the actual seated meal service at Hale Kau Kau.
Yep. So once we have all of the meals out and they're getting picked up, we'll typically take half hour or so and just kind of clean the kitchen up, get from all the food prep that we had been doing prior. Then we'll take a look at what we have prepared for the night. If there are any last minute preparation that needs to be done, we'll do that. But then we will start getting everything set up for the meal service at 5:00. What we do is we'll set everything up on a long table. We have a window on the side of the kitchen where people will line up and one by one they'll come up to grab a meal from us. So we kind of set things up inside the kitchen, assembly line style, to where we can kind of hand a plate down the line for each component. So we'll get a starch on the plate, and our protein, then our vegetable, then our fruit, and so on.
And then the clients are eating on site, like there's tables there where they're eating.
Yes. Outside of the kitchen, we have a line of tables. We could easily seat 100 people out there. And we've had a few nights recently that we've gotten pretty close to that. It's a really good experience for everybody. It's a great experience for the volunteers, because they kind of get to see the fruits of their labor. They get to interact a little bit.
No pun intended.
Yeah. They get to interact a little bit with our guests. Our guests express their gratitude every single day. I know it's really heartwarming for the volunteers and for myself included. But it's also great for the guests that we have here eating, because this is kind of like an hour of their day where it's like sanctuary. They can come here, they can relax, they can get out of the sun, have a meal, have some good conversation with people. It's like kind of a hub for the unhoused community in Kihei.
So Matt, I know that you have a bunch of different volunteers. So I want to talk about, don't you sometimes have corporate groups come in, and what's that like? And then also, how can somebody volunteer?
Yeah. So one in particular group that we have that comes every single month on a Wednesday is Keller Williams Realty. They will come in and basically sponsor a meal. So there are a couple options here. An organization could just sponsor a meal and just come and drop food off, and I could have my volunteers take care of serving it and everything. In the case of Keller Williams, what they'll do is they'll come in around 3 o'clock, and I will limit my volunteers that day. I'll just have maybe one person there to help me clean stuff up as we go.
Yeah.
But they will come in and they will actually they'll prepare the main course for the meal. They'll use my kitchen, they'll cook the meal, and then they'll serve the meal as well.